One thing you realize when you've been traveling for a while is that there are places where your money seems to evaporate and others where you can live like royalty without breaking the bank. My wife and I once managed to explore Asia for 3 months on just $80 per day total, which covered everything except our flights. Sounds crazy, I know, but the secret was choosing destinations where our dollar stretched further. In some places, $80 daily for 2 people means constant budgeting. In others, it feels almost luxurious. So in this video, I'm going to share 10 amazing yet budget-friendly places to visit that offer incredible value and unforgettable experiences. Let's dive in. Okay, quick disclaimer. Affordable, cheap, expensive, pricey. These are relative terms, right? They mean different things to different people depending on your income and where you live. You can travel reasonably inexpensively anywhere if you know how, and possibly if you're willing to make some sacrifices. Likewise, although the places that I'm about to mention are what I, as a US citizen, would consider reasonably affordable, you can easily spend your way into an expensive vacation in any of them. Trust me, they will take your money. What this is a list of 10 trips that we have taken that we loved, and we came home relatively financially unscathed. You might be surprised by my final recommendation. Let's kick things off with one of Europe's most charming yet affordable capitals, Lisbon, Portugal. This coastal city offers a perfect blend of old-world charm and modern amenities without the price tag of Paris or London. We spent 2 weeks here and managed to stay well under our $80 daily budget most days. What struck me immediately about Lisbon was how walkable it is, if you don't mind hills. The colorful buildings, tile-covered facades, and those iconic yellow trams create this perfect backdrop for wandering. One of our favorite experiences was just getting lost in the Alfama district with its narrow, winding streets. We stumbled upon the most amazing little family-run restaurant where we had a full Portuguese meal with wine for about €12 each. Don't miss taking the train to Sintra for a day trip. Those fairy tale palaces are absolutely worth it. The Pina Palace looks like something straight out of a Disney movie. Just be sure to get there early before the tour buses arrive. For accommodations, we rented a small apartment through Airbnb in the Baixia district, which put us within walking distance of most attractions. Food in Lisbon is incredibly affordable, especially if you follow the locals. Those tourist menu places on the main squares? Skip them. Instead, look for tascas, small local eateries where you can get the prato do dia, dish of the day, for €7.10 including a drink. Next up on our list is Bangkok, Thailand. There's so much to love about this vibrant, chaotic, beautiful city that serves as the perfect gateway to Southeast Asia. Bangkok is one of those places where you can live large on a small budget, or really stretch your money if you need to. What we loved about Bangkok was the contrast gleaming skyscrapers next to ancient temples, luxury malls beside bustling street markets. You haven't experienced Bangkok until you've taken a boat ride through the canals, or klongs as they're called locally. It gives you a completely different perspective of the city. And of course, the food. Some of the best meals we had were from street food vendors costing $1.12 per dish. Those pad Thai noodles made right in front of you for 50 baht? Unbeatable. Make sure you visit the Grand Palace and Wat Pho with its massive reclining Buddha. Yes, they're touristy, but they're also genuinely impressive. Pro tip, go early in the morning to beat both the crowds and the heat. For a more local experience, take the ferry across to Thonburi and explore the neighborhoods there. Barely any tourists and some amazing little markets. Transportation in Bangkok is super cheap, especially if you master the public boats and buses. Even taxis won't break the bank if you insist they use the meter. All in all, we averaged about $65 per day for both of us in Bangkok, and we weren't really trying to be frugal. A place that really surprised us was Bucharest, Romania. Often overlooked in favor of more popular European destinations, Romania's capital offers incredible value and a fascinating blend of architectural styles. We jokingly called it Little Paris because of its wide boulevards and French-inspired buildings, but it has its own distinct character that we fell in love with. The historic center is where you'll want to spend most of your time. It's filled with cool cafes, bars, and restaurants where prices are shockingly reasonable. We had amazing 3-course dinners with wine for around $20 total for both of us. The craft beer scene here is fantastic too. Local breweries offer tastings at prices that would make a Portland hipster weep with envy. Don't miss the Palace of Parliament. It's the second largest administrative building in the world after the Pentagon, and the tours are fascinating. The Village Museum was another highlight, showcasing traditional Romanian houses from different regions. It's like traveling across the entire country in one afternoon. We stayed in an Airbnb near Sismigiu Gardens for about $30 per night, but there are plenty of hostels and budget hotels for half that price. Public transportation is efficient and ridiculously cheap, less than $1 for most rides. Our daily spending in Bucharest averaged about $55 for both of us, including accommodation. That's practically unheard of for a European capital. Hanoi, Vietnam has to be one of the best value destinations we've ever visited. The moment you step into the organized chaos of the Old Quarter, with its maze of narrow streets filled with motorbikes, street food vendors, and tiny shops, you know you're somewhere special. And the best part? You can enjoy all of this on a seriously tiny budget. We stayed in a surprisingly nice hotel in the Old Quarter for just $25 a night, including breakfast. But what really blew us away was the food scene. Vietnamese coffee with condensed milk for 75 cents, a bowl of perfect pho for $1.50, and those banh mi sandwiches for $1 that I still dream about. We literally ate 5 times a day because we couldn't resist trying everything. One of our favorite experiences was taking a street food tour with a local university student. It cost about $15 each and was worth every penny. They took us to places we would never have found on our own and explained all the dishes. Don't miss the egg coffee at Cafe Giang. It sounds weird but tastes like liquid tiramisu. Hanoi is also a great base for day trips or overnight excursions. We took a 2-day trip to Ha Long Bay, which was one of the pricier things we did at $120 each, but included everything and was absolutely magical. Even with that splurge, we still averaged just $65.70 per day for both of us during our week in Hanoi. Mexico City was another destination that completely exceeded our expectations. It's a massive, sprawling metropolis with world-class museums, amazing food, and this incredible energy that's hard to describe. And it's so affordable that we extended our stay from 1 week to almost 3. We rented an apartment in the Roma Norte neighborhood, which is this beautiful area full of tree-lined streets, Art Deco buildings, and hip cafes. For $45 a night, we had our own spacious 1-bedroom place that would have cost triple in a U.S. city. The food scene here is just incredible. From street tacos for 50 cents each to multi-course meals at nice restaurants for $15 per person. The metro system in Mexico City is shockingly cheap, about 25 cents per ride, and can get you almost anywhere. We visited the incredible National Museum of Anthropology, which costs just $5 to enter, and houses one of the world's best collections of pre-Hispanic artifacts. The Frida Kahlo Museum was another highlight, though you'll need to book tickets in advance. Don't miss a trip to Teotihuacan to see the ancient pyramids. You can take a public bus for about $5 round trip rather than an expensive tour. We spent a day floating through the Xochimilco canals on a colorful boat, sharing beers and snacks with locals doing the same. Even with all these activities, our daily budget rarely exceeded $70 for both of us. Next up, Krakow, Poland. I already mentioned Poland in my previous video, but Krakow specifically deserves its own spotlight. It's hands down one of the most beautiful cities in Europe, and somehow still flies under the radar when it comes to pricing. The entire medieval Old Town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you can see why the moment you step into the main square. We stayed in a great apartment just a 5-minute walk from the main square for $40 a night. The city center is completely walkable, so we rarely needed public transportation. The food in Krakow is both delicious and incredibly affordable. Those traditional Polish dishes like pierogi, żurek, and golubki will fill you up for just a few dollars. We loved this underground cellar restaurant called Marmalada, where we had a feast with drinks for about $25 total. Krakow has this perfect balance of historical sites and lively modern culture. The Wawel Castle complex is impressive and mostly free to walk around, though specific exhibits have small entry fees. The Jewish quarter, Kazimierz, has transformed into this cool area with vintage shops, street art, and amazing little cafes and bars. Don't miss the Schindler Factory Museum. It's one of the best curated historical museums I've ever visited. A day trip to the Wieliczka salt mine is absolutely worth it. These massive underground chambers and sculptures carved entirely from salt. Siem Reap, Cambodia definitely deserves its spot on this list. While many people visit just for the temples of Angkor Wat, which are absolutely mind-blowing, the town itself has a charm all its own, and the affordability is almost shocking. Of course, the main attraction is Angkor Wat and the surrounding temple complex. A one-day pass costs $37, which isn't cheap, but considering what you're seeing, one of humanity's most impressive architectural achievements, it's more than worth it. We opted for the 3-day pass for $62 because there are literally hundreds of temples to explore. Hiring a tuk-tuk driver for the day costs around $15-20, and they'll take you on whatever route you prefer. Beyond the temples, Siem Reap itself is full of character. Pub Street is touristy but fun for a night out with drinks costing $1.12 during happy hour, which seems to last all day at some places. The night market is great for souvenir shopping, and you can get amazing Khmer food for $1.35 per dish at local spots. We took a Cambodian cooking class for $15 each, which included a market tour and a full meal. What really made our time special in Siem Reap was the people. Despite the country's tragic recent history, Cambodians are incredibly warm and welcoming. We hired a guide named Sathi for our temple visits who shared not just historical information, but personal stories about growing up in post-Khmer Rouge Cambodia. Those conversations were priceless. Even with temple passes and activities, we averaged just $70 per day here. Marrakesh, Morocco is a feast for the senses and surprisingly easy on the wallet. The moment you step into the famous Jama El Fna Square, with its snake charmers, storytellers, and food stalls, you know you're somewhere utterly unique. We stayed in a traditional riad, a house built around a central courtyard, in the Medina for $45 a night, including an amazing breakfast on the rooftop terrace. Getting lost in the labyrinthine souks, markets of Marrakesh is an experience in itself. Yes, you'll need to haggle for everything, but that's part of the fun. We picked up handmade leather goods, spices, and ceramics for a fraction of what they'd cost back home. Food is incredibly affordable if you eat where the locals eat. Those tagine dishes, slow-cooked stews with meat and vegetables, cost around $1.35 at small local places. Don't miss the Majorelle Garden, once owned by Yves Saint Laurent, with its striking blue buildings and exotic plant collection. The entry fee is about $8, but it's a peaceful escape from the hustle and bustle of the Medina. The Bahia Palace, with its intricate tile work and gardens, is another must-see at just $2 entrance fee. One of our favorite experiences was taking a cooking class where we learned to make proper Moroccan mint tea and a chicken tagine with preserved lemons. It cost about $30 each and included the market shopping and a feast of our own creation. Transportation is cheap. Taxis within the city should cost $2.24 if you negotiate. Always agree on the price before getting in. We averaged about $75 per day for both of us in Marrakesh, including everything. Tbilisi, Georgia might be the best value destination you've never considered. This ancient city where Europe meets Asia has incredible food, wine, architecture, and hospitality at prices that seem like a mistake. Georgian cuisine deserves its growing international reputation. It's absolutely delicious. Those khachapuri cheese boats, khinkali dumplings, and grilled meats with walnut sauces will have you planning your next meal while you're still eating. And the prices? A feast for two with wine typically cost us $15-20 total. The city itself is a wonderful mix of crumbling old buildings next to ultra-modern glass structures. Don't miss the 4th century Narakala fortress overlooking the city. You can hike up or take a cable car for about $1. The sulfur baths in the Abanotubani district are another quintessential Tbilisi experience. For about $10.15, you can soak in private mineral baths that have been in use for centuries. Day trips from Tbilisi are easy and affordable. We took a marshrutka to the ancient capital of Mitsketa for less than $1 each way. Another day, we joined a group tour to the Kakheti wine region for $35 each, which included transportation, several winery visits with tastings, and lunch. Overall, we averaged just $65 per day for both of us in Georgia, making it possibly the best value destination in Europe, if you consider it part of Europe. And finally, our last recommendation might surprise you. La Paz, Bolivia. Nestled in a canyon at over 11,000 feet above sea level, this city is unlike any other capital in the world. The altitude takes some getting used to. Coca tea helps. But the value you get here is remarkable. We stayed in a modern apartment with spectacular views for $35 per night, though you could easily find decent places for $20 or less. What makes La Paz special is its indigenous culture that's still very much alive in daily life. The Witches' Market, where you can find all sorts of unusual items used in traditional Aymara rituals, was fascinating to explore. The food scene is a delightful mix of traditional Bolivian dishes and modern international cuisine. We had amazing multi-course lunches called almuerzos for about $1.35 each, including soup, main course, dessert, and a drink. Transportation in La Paz is an adventure in itself. The city has this incredible cable car system called Mi Teleférico that serves as public transportation and offers breathtaking views for just about 30 cents per ride. It's both practical and one of the best attractions in the city. For longer distances, minibuses cost around 30 cents per ride. Don't miss taking a tour to nearby Moon Valley with its eerily beautiful eroded landscapes. It cost us about $15 each for a half-day tour. If you're feeling adventurous, mountain biking down the infamous Death Road is a popular activity at around $80, one of the few pricier activities we did. The Sunday market in El Alto, the city that sits on the plateau above La Paz, is an incredible experience. It's enormous and sells absolutely everything you could imagine. Even with several tours and activities, we averaged just $60 per day for both of us in La Paz. The value extends beyond the city, too. Bolivia in general is one of South America's most affordable countries, with incredible sites like the Uyuni Salt Flats that can be visited on relatively modest budgets. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in more info on any of these places, I've linked several individual videos below. And if you're wondering what to pack for an upcoming trip, check out this video. Thank you so much for watching. Happy travels!